going on, y'all? I'm sorry for this angle. I'm outside. This is where I come to think. I'm sorry. I'm kind of out of it this morning. I told Carrie I'd have something. What I wanted to talk about wasn't what God wanted me to talk about. So I've been talking to God this morning and just trying to break down this feeling that I have that He's given me. And I'm sorry if I look down. I want to make sure I get everything that I was feeling out. So ignore me looking down. I typed out everything, and I want to make sure I say it right. As I started thinking and talking to God about this morning, I started going back to lukewarm or halfway. And then it led me to the word excuse. And I'm pretty sure everybody that just heard me say that, something just popped in your head. An excuse definition is a reason or explanation put forward to defend or justify a fault or an offense. And it also is a release from a duty or requirement. That's an excuse. So I ask you today, what's your excuse? What's the reason you can't today? Let's take today, for instance. It's Sunday. One day, God has called us to focus on Him. 1 day out of 7. But here's some excuses that I hear, or I even see as I drive to church. I would go today, but I got to cut the grass. Or I can't today. I don't feel too good. I don't think I can make it through it. I can get what I need from God at home. I don't have to go to church. So again, I ask, what's your excuse? Every day we are called by God to be a witness and a servant. We have all heard the verse and message on being a light, not hidden but so bright everyone can see. But do we really do that every day? Do we turn down the light with our excuses? Do we let our light shine through our excuses? Or are we dimming it down so we don't have anybody look at us, so we don't get pointed out? And when you think about your excuse, do you think an excuse is going to get you in heaven? Do you think God's going to let you excuse your way through the gates? And in His Word, He clearly says it don't work like that. He says, I know thy works, and that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would wish that thou wert cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth. That's Revelations 3:15 and 16. And here's Matthew 21 through 23. Not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And have we not cast out devils in thy name? Have we not done many wonderful works in thy name? And then God will say, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. That's pretty heavy. That's even saying people who do works for God, but aren't fully committed to God, won't get in. You can do works without being committed. Anybody can say and do stuff without being fully committed to God. Everybody has a word they can give that will be like, oh, that was great. But without a passion and a meaning behind it and a love for God, it's not going to work. Excuses don't work against God. He knows if you're a real, true lover of Him and a follower of Him. Go read about His disciples. They dropped everything. And I bet they had some pretty good excuses not to. But they dropped it all. They left the excuses behind and followed Him. Followed Him to do His works, what He wanted them to do, no matter what. And every day we are hearing about stuff about missionaries and people getting killed for God's sake. And that's in the Bible. He says, you're going to die for my name's sake. That's Matthew 24. You need to read that. Read that whole book, chapter, whatever you want to call it. Talking about excuses, God had plenty of excuses not to come and die for us. He had plenty of excuses not to come down here and deal with this wicked world. But He didn't give no excuse. He pushed past the excuses and He did it for us. So I just want to ask you, is your love for God as strong as that? I mean, I had to check myself this morning whenever I was saying this. I was like, oh man, I can go back and think of stuff that I should have been doing, but I had an excuse of why I wasn't doing it. So it's time for us to stop being a Facebook Christian. And what I mean by that is somebody that is only a Christian on social media. When you're out and about, yeah, you might help somebody, but that don't mean you're a true Christian. Christ-like. That's what Christian means, Christ-like. Being a Christian is somebody that is willing to work and be a witness and loving, caring. It goes on and on. But let's take being a witness and a servant. Let's put on our witness shirt and our servant shoes. Being a witness is letting people see you. Being a servant is being able to do the work. And I know this is kind of hard and kind of heavy. It even, like I said, I even argued with God about it because I felt like, I shouldn't be saying this because I fit right there with the excuse crowd. But even God saying, I'm working on you and I'm working through you. I just hope this all made sense. This is like the third or fourth time I did this because I couldn't get through it. I started thinking about everything. And one day I'm going to do a video on my life so far because I'm still learning and going. But I've been through so much and I have plenty of excuses not to be doing what I'm doing right now. But God has called me to do more. He's called all of us to do more. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching this. I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. Hopefully it is. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one.